Welcome to Rate My Gadget. We're going to show you how to put a tap into your garage very easily. So somewhere probably you have a washing machine or a dishwasher that will have a cold water inlet, and what we're going to show you is how you can take a tap off that and then you can route that tap into your garage. Now that may mean that you have to go through some walls, but we will show you how to do all of that. Now the complicated bit is really the connection. So in this instance here and in this video, we will show you how to easily isolate the water inlet coming into your washing machine, put a two-way tap on it. We put links to all of the kit that you need, and that blue line going down there, that will be the one that we will show you how you can then take that to an outdoor tap. We've put it into our garage. So here is the tap with that blue hose, and we'll show you how to do all of this. Now, a bit of a caveat, if you are drilling into walls, obviously do be careful you're not going to inadvertently drill into electric or plumbing. And if you do not know or you're unsure, please do seek professional advice. But the key is to have a tap with the connection at the top, such as this one. But let's talk it through it. We can show you how to put this drip tray in if you really want, but we'll take you right through the whole thing. So let's get started. Okay, so we come to the inlet for the washing machine. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is putting this in its place. Before you do that, make sure that both ends are isolated, and you're going to be taking this off. It's all by hand, because you'll find that this here, see these knobs here, you just turn this by hand, and you don't need to put anything like PTFE or anything, because these plastic bungs go straight on to this connector here. Like I said, make sure these two valves are shut, because as soon as you isolate this, you connect this up and turn it back on, you do not want water spraying out the back end of this. So having it isolated is definitely the right thing to do. Obviously you need to then open up the one that the washing machine is on, otherwise it won't work. The other thing as well, make sure your washing machine is off. You don't have to turn the power off at the wall, you can if you want to. All you need to make sure is that the washing machine isn't running. In other words, it's not trying to ask for water. Okay, now what you'll be doing, and I'll just show you on mine, is you'll be isolating the valve. So that means that there is no water now coming into there. Now, if I take this off, water will still be in this pipe. So in my instances, it's not too bad, because I'm just going to hold it upright. If, however, yours is down low or maybe upside down or on the side, put a bucket underneath it and then drain all the water out of it. Okay, so I am going to be putting this into position here, and then I'll show you what that looks like. That's come off there. There was not a lot of water that came out. I did take my own advice and have a little bit of a cup ready. However, I don't want to really bring this down too low, because obviously any water that's trapped in the hose will pour out. So I will keep this up high. This here now is isolated off, so you can see that there's no water coming out of it. I will then put that two-way valve on, clamp this up. The one thing you might want to check is just the washer that's in here and the condition of it. If it's in a poor condition, you may want to buy a new one. You can get them on Amazon. Again, I'll send you the link in the chat. If, however, it's looking pretty decent and it hasn't leaked up to this point, it should be fine. But while you're here, just take the opportunity, and I'm just going to clean this one a little bit. Okay, let me put the valve on and let me show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so I've put that onto that valve there. It is still isolated, and the reason that's quite good now that it's isolated is it means that any water that is in there, if I do drop it down, it won't leak out. So that is isolated nicely. Put it on that end first, and then what you can do is you put it on and screw it up there. Again, this has got to be really quite hand tight, but we will go through it bit by bit just to ensure that it's not leaking or anything like that. So I just thought it worth showing you. So this is still fairly loose, but all I'm doing is, and it's doing it, so it's just getting a bit tighter there. Okay, there you go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and eventually you'll be squeezing down onto that washer. And then once you're at that point and it's starting to get a bit tight, then you want to give it a little bit like that. There, like that. Okay, now make sure that the hose that you've connected it to, it hasn't got any, it's not buckled over or anything, so you're not blocking the water getting into your washing machine. But this for me is good. So this hasn't kinked or anything. This is really tight. And then we will just see, we will first of all turn that valve on. Once we've turned that valve on, we will turn that valve on. And as long as none of it leaks, that means that this means a washing machine is now working and you are ready with a second tap to be able to put your tap in place. Okay, so let me show you how. Okay, so that is done, and just to confuse matters, I've decided to actually put the line of the washing machine on this side. Still isolated, so they're both isolated, and if I just prove it, so that one there is open, that is closed. Okay, now where you are in this position now is that you've not turned any water off. This valve here will still work. So if you've done everything right, if this is hand tight, this is hand tight, turn this on and just check for any leaks from this joint, or this joint won't be live yet, but this joint here. If you've got a leak here, it means that you need to tighten this up a bit more, hand tight, maybe get a wrench on it or something like that. If there's a leak here, I'm afraid you're going to have to send a unit back. And it is from Amazon. They're really good. But to be honest, this is really solid. So you should be fine. Okay. Like I said, it's really good to have these isolation taps. First of all, it means that the one going into the garage for your cold water tap during the winter months, I would heavily recommend isolating this when you're not using the tap. Drain the tap the other end, and it means there's no water in the line that could freeze over. The reason that's useful to do is if you leave this live and you leave the tap live in the garage and it gets below 0, there is a high likelihood that you will have freezing pipes, and therefore unbeknown to you, you may have a leak somewhere within your garage, which is obviously not visual, and you don't want that situation. So I would heavily recommend isolating this during the winter months. And so, moment of truth, I look pretty good. So I can turn the water on this side here, okay? And then you can turn this one on. Once you're happy that you're not getting any leaks out of here or any leaks out of here, you can then turn this one on as well. Okay, so there you go. So I've just turned that on. So that means that the washing machine is live. This, do not touch this now because this is a live and it will open up. So that becomes a tap. What you can do is when you put the tap onto here, when you put that blue line that I showed you earlier on in the video, you can isolate this. So you can make sure that you're not inadvertently going to have water spraying everywhere if you do hit this while you're doing it up. But that is the washing machine plumbed in, ready for a second line going off. And you know, now it's just a job of making sure you've got the right connections, but I will show you exactly how to do it. Now, if you know what you're doing here, you could obviously take this off and put it wall mounted and put it plastic piping and all that. However, because this is a 3/4 BSP, it will work directly with one of these hoses. Why make life difficult? Just get an extra long one of these and put it onto a tap at the end. But let me show you the other end and what that looks like. Okay, so now outside of my garage, inside my garage, the back wall, that grey wall, is where the hose will be coming through because the washing machine is on the other side. You want to think about where you are going to locate the tap. I don't have a drain area, but it does naturally slope away and I want good access. So I'm going to be mounting the tap onto this wall. Now, the other thing with the tap is you will need to get a little bit of wood like this to mount the tap onto. And the reason for that is it has a connection, and unfortunately the connection will clash if you put it straight up and flush against the wall. So that means you won't be able to, because you haven't got the space, screw a hose pipe onto it. So when you put it onto a piece of wood like this, you obviously give yourself that space. But you need to think about also the orientation. So you could put it on this left-hand side because that's where the hose is coming in. But with myself, I'm going to actually turn it, rather than upside down like this, I'm going to turn it up in the air like that. Reason I don't want to do it in this direction here is only because the hose as it comes off has got a bit of an L bend, and you'll see that when I connect it on. So I'm going to mount it so that it gives me enough space, and I'm going to put the thread up. So here we go, it's mounted. I've screwed it into that wall there, and it means that I can connect it onto top. Now the tap itself screws into the body in here, and there is a washer inside, which you would screw it past, and it's quite tight, but make sure that you turn the tap and you go past that white washer and you then screw it up, and that means that the tap is then screwed into the body. And it's quite nice because as you turn the tap you can then set the orientation. Obviously I've set it to go down. So excuse the mess, but I drilled a hole through the wall, put the blue hose through, and now it's ready to connect onto the tap. So that blue hose is coming from the washing machine. Okay, so the tap is ready, it's in position. I want to make sure that this thread is clean, and then what I want to do is put this adapter on. So what this is what's called a reducer, but this is actually from a shower unit. So if I just show you, this goes here like that. So that goes onto the 1/2 inch 15mm thread. And then the blue hose from the washing machine is a 3/4 BSP thread. The reason I like this, and the link is in the comments, is because if I take this out, this has a washer that it comes with inside, and also for the other end, it has a washer as well. So let me just show you that. So if okay, I'm only going to do it up softly. That washer goes on there like that, and then that can clamp down. Now you do get a washer with the hose. Again, link is in the comments, but always good to have a spare washer just in case it gets damaged. So the first thing to do is to put this down onto here. Now, as a precaution, when you're going metal to metal threads, so because you're going from a metal, I'm going to put PTFE tape, which basically seals the gap in between the threads, because otherwise there is a risk that the water could come weeping out of that joint through the threads. So I'm going to put PTFE tape on first of all, and then hand tighten it down, and then I'm going to put the other end on. Okay, let me show you how. Although this isn't the way I'm going to connect it up, and I wouldn't recommend it, just to give you an indication what this is going to do, this is going to clamp down in there, and you can see the rubber washer there is sealed down on the top. And then, but first I'm going to put this on here. Okay, so there you go, PTFE tape is applied. Now there are other videos out there you can go search for, and I'll put a link to the bottom for a good one. But in essence, the two important things are, when you're wrapping the PTFE tape, do it anti-clockwise, go around the other way, and also when you're doing it, make sure you use the full width of it, don't turn it into a real fine string. Okay, now that you've put the PTFE tape on there, make sure that you've got the washer on the inside and it's flat to the face, and then you're screwing it down. So let me show you how. So if I just take this here, put the washer in like that, make sure it's flat. Now you may just want to check the PTFE tape. I've let it overrun a little bit here. If you're going to be using this as drinking water, do not do that, because there's a danger that you'll get the PTFE tape within the drinking water line. So try and keep it down below the threads. But let me just show you now. So if I turn that round, and I am just going to hand tighten that up like so, till you feel that that face has come onto the washer. There you go. Okay, that's it, like that. Now what you're doing is putting this hose onto top. Now as a precaution, I am also going to put PTFE tape around here. You don't necessarily need to, because this plastic here, but I'm going to be doing it anyway. Make sure that the washer in here is clean, so there's no damage or anything like that. And make sure, as a bit of a tip, you push it all the way back so that it is flat at the back. You don't want it off at an angle like this. Okay, so I'm going to do PTFE tape, and then I'm going to tighten it up. We'll go from there. Okay, so I'll put the PTFE tape on there, and then what I'm going to do is make sure that this is parallel like that, and then just start hand screwing it on. Okay, now if you can, hold the unit with your hands there, and then tighten it up as you go. So let me show you. So there you go, all tightened up. So this is hand tight now, and this is tightened up as well. So now you can turn on the water at the tap end behind the wall, and obviously check if it's not weeping. If it is, then reapply the PTFE or tighten it up. Obviously making sure that when you do test it, that the tap is closed, so you can see if there's any weeping coming out there. But let's go to the washing machine end and connect the tap. So one end of the hose, you can see this is the blue end, so the blue will go to the tap in the garage. This is the grey end that goes to my washing machine. But one thing to be mindful of is you need to make sure that this connection here has got a straight line in. So you can see I've put this at a slight angle, obviously making sure that this is really tight, and that allows me to then take that, and that then goes away. It goes through this wall here and it goes into my garage. So now I have a cold feed. Obviously I've split it from here. So this is the washing machine, got a cold feed now for my garage. So as before, you want to check for leaks. So turning on that tap that goes into the blue hose, and then in the garage end, making sure that when you do turn it on that the tap is off and isolated, and check that there's no leaks that end. And that is it. You have fitted a tap through a hose to your washing machine into your garage. And that's it. Now, obviously, a few little caveats. If you are drilling through walls like I had to, so if you're putting the tap into a wall here, or if you're drilling through, do make sure you know what's in there in terms of electricity or plumbing. You don't want to inadvertently go into a electrical pipe or a plumbing pipe. Obviously, if you're not sure, please do seek professional advice. The other thing to be aware of is the drain of where the water will go to. Now, you can put, like we did, a bit of a drip pan down just on the floor, or you could come up with a bucket or something like that. But we didn't show you that, but we will put a link to this. Anyway, I hope it helps. Any questions, please do like, please subscribe and leave any comments.